It's about to be another one of those stories, and y'all know where I'm about. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But basically, the person you see in this picture name is Benjamin Murdy. Now, ironically, his last name is Murdy. That sounds like murder, considering that is what almost occurred involving this man. So, according to this article, he was arrested after shooting nearly 200 rounds at Hartford County deputies. Arrested. Keyword there is arrested. Now, I just did a video about a man in Connecticut who decided to go table flipping and property destruction all over Bloomingdale's in a town in Connecticut. And the same thing happened with him. Now, granted, what he did was way worse. This man right here, because this actually involved guns. Nearly 200 rounds, and not one time was he, let me go ahead and get into it. And this is coming out of Hartford County, Maryland. Now, mind you, this is my first time hearing about it, and it's happening in the state that I live in. If it hadn't been the night to set his trash out, 59-year-old Bobby Shell wouldn't have been outside backing his truck down the road in front of his home in Stark to drop off his cans right in the line of fire. Took the first two out, and that's when I heard gunshots going off and I felt something on my right knee. He grazed my right knee, and then I went running around the other side of my truck, and then I got hit in my right scrotum. Only later would Shell learn his neighbor, 43-year-old Benjamin Murdy, had opened fire from across the Oak Ridge Drive on Hartford County Sheriff's deputies who had pulled up to check a report from Murdy's girlfriend that he had shot and killed her dog during a dispute. Peter, where art thou? I'm talking about the same ones that have all this vitriol for Michael Vick to draw petitions and whatnot. This man killed this woman's dog, and I don't hear a peep. To the Blue Lives Matter people, where are you at? I'm calling on you both because he shot at the police. Of course, I know this is sarcasm. They ain't going to answer my call. She had left the home with two small children before Murdy turned violent. Shell found himself pinned down for cover behind his truck, which ended up riddled with bullet holes. I just crouched down behind my tire in the front of my headlight in that area because it had the most space blocking me from whatever was going on because I couldn't see what was going on, to tell you the truth. Hartford County Sheriff Jeffrey Galler says during an hour-and-a-half long standoff, Murdy fired almost 200 rounds from a rifle and a handgun, while police never fired a single shot. Did you hear that? This man did all the shooting, and those pigs did not shoot back one time. They didn't shoot off one bullet. Yet you had a robotic bomb back in 2016 that none of us have never heard of, and to be honest, have never seen since. Go in there to take out Micah Johnson, and they were actually firing back at him. This man fired 200 rounds from two weapons, and not one time did those pigs shoot at him. And he was arrested. I don't have to tell y'all what it is, just know it's what it is. The gunman ultimately called 911 and arranged for his surrender. Oh, so that's why they turned him in? Is that why they arrested him? Because he actually called and said that he wanted to surrender? Give me a fucking break. We're familiar with him, said Galler. He's been the subject of a couple of protective orders from a previous relationship, and then I think from the current one. I'm not up to spec on all of those, but he had made statements in there that he would take out police if they ever came to the house. So you have a guy who you know has a history of doing this, and even said out of his own mouth that if the police came to his house, he would do his best to take them out. And he actually went on his word and tried to do that, and y'all didn't handle it then. This is exactly why when they handle people like him with kid gloves, when they come back even harder. Just bold talk from a man with a short fuse until the night an argument would set him off taking aim at anything that moved in the dark of night. So basically, they didn't take the man seriously. They thought he was joking. They found out that night he wasn't. Two of the bullet holes are like right above where I was kneeling down, so I don't know if that came later or what, because I didn't feel glass flying on me. It's like 10 shots every 5 minutes. It was like he was just shooting off, reloading, and I got hit twice. Murdy is charged with attempted first and second degree murder, first and second degree assault, reckless endangerment, aggravated animal cruelty, and other related charges. Additional charges are possible pending the outcome of the investigation. Murdy is currently being held at the Harford County Detention Center without bail. Listen, kid gloves. So let's run this back here. This man got mad apparently with his girlfriend. He shot and killed her dog. Then he just starts firing off. His neighbor gets hit twice. He starts shooting at the cops, 200 rounds with 2 different guns. They didn't fire a single shot at this man. And all he was arrested. He even claimed that he would come at them if they ever came to his house. They thought he was joking, but they found out that day that he wasn't. Oh, to be palm-colored in this establishment we know as the United States of America. And people like to tell you that white privilege ain't real. I'm giving you examples of it damn near every week. But some people will still choose to be naive, even some of our own. Just comply. This man didn't comply. He didn't do none of that. Just follow what the police say. Notice all the rules they have set for us, they do the complete opposite of. Just like they like to tell us to be all those morals and stuff that we have to follow, those moral codes, they do the complete opposite of it. I said to black people, don't follow that moral code because they don't have any morals. Any people that give you moral codes but lack morality to themselves is just blowing smoke out of their ass. That's basically what it is. Now, I don't have to tell you what would happen if the shooter had looked quite like us. It would be surprising, however, if he was to walk away from that situation. But something tells me that one thing that would have been different is those cops probably would have shot back. It wasn't even a shootout. A shootout would imply that both sides are shooting. It was very one-sided. This almost reminds me of what happened in, Virginia? We had that naked white guy running around there and had killed somebody, almost killed somebody else. And he's running around chasing the cop. Mind you, that naked guy has no weapon on him. And the cop has this big ass military style weapon. And he's running away from him. I could continue giving examples. And don't worry, if I keep coming across stories, they will continue to come. But at this point, we already know what's up. We already know what's up. They can go out there and they can go and commit all these goddamn high level crimes, get handled with kid gloves, probably walk away from it and then act like ain't shit happened. Us, on the other hand, we can play with an airsoft pistol and get killed. We can go in a store and just look at a weapon and get killed under suspicion. All it takes is suspicion. But there you go. And see, stuff like this is why a lot of people are going to keep trying to bring up that whole gun control BS, which we know that ain't going to work. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure if you're not following me on Twitter that you do so. Have your notifications turned on. And I will talk to you in the next one.